Hey guys, well we're coming to you from bright and sunny Hawaii. Sorry if we're kind of squinting here. The sun is sort of right in our eyes, but this is the best place to shoot a video.
It's windy today as well.
Yeah. So we just wanted to talk a little bit about your first week of training and get you guys sort of help you have an understanding of the vision for the training plan that we've set up and why we believe in it and why we've seen success with other people doing this sort of method of training.
Yeah, so the first week, especially as we mentioned in the last video, we really just want this to be an introduction to your body, first and foremost. I know normally when you start a new, if you sign up for a camp or wherever you go, you're all excited and want to pour all of that energy straight away. And we just want to say, be patient. There's 6 whole weeks, and we want you guys to get to the finish line after 6 weeks healthy, first and foremost. And the greatest risk for injury is in these first 10 days. So we want to slowly expose your body to these different running surfaces, the different sort of stimuli that we're going to expose you to. And this first one coming up is going to be hill repeats. And that, again, is one mechanism that we use to help prevent injury, because when you're running up a hill, you go up, then you only come down partially the way, so you don't have the same impact on your ankles, your joints, your bones as well, so that you're not getting nearly that sort of stress onto those joints.
Yeah, a big part of why we prescribe hills in your training plan, so you'll have them each week. A big part of why we do that is that it's a good way to build up some functional strength in your legs without hitting the weight room. Now, we've given you some circuit training, which sort of focuses on your core and hamstrings and glutes to do sort of general overall, mile sort of fitness for building up strength in some of those muscles, especially if you've never done that before. Some of you maybe are used to doing that, but for a lot of you this will be new, and for a lot of you hills will be new as well. If you're somebody that has focused on long distances in the past, maybe you've shied away from hills if you're anything like me, or just really adjusted your pace to really slow down. But this workout is really going to be focusing on attacking the hills, and like Nick said, we don't want you to go too hard on this first week. We want you to basically actually start your first hill repeat try and maintain your jogging pace, which will be pretty difficult if you pick a steep enough hill. We generally say between about 7 to 12% is a good idea, but a lot of you may struggle to find a good hill near your home, or we've even had people who live in really flat areas choose to just ramp up the incline on a treadmill, and that's a second best option. Hopefully you'll be able to find a decent hill somewhere around that you can use.
Or even stadium stairs or the stairwell in a tall building. The idea is that although you might run lots of hills on your distance runs in the past, often you hold back and you let your body sort of slouch down and get sluggish and just survive those hills. What we really want you to is to stand tall and strong and feel the power as you push through that muscle, getting the functional strength, as Sierra said. So stairs, and everyone can find a building somewhere with a stairwell that provides resistance on your muscles. So that's what we're going to work towards. A really cool quote that we discovered the other week that helps summarize our viewpoint on training, I suppose. We never were able to sort of eloquently state it this as well as this, is from the great coach Arthur Lydiard. He's from New Zealand in the 1960s. He produced a lot of Olympic champions, and he said, we want you to get pleasantly fatigued. A pleasant tiredness is what we want you to sort of shoot for, and that's what we're working towards with this, is we want you to feel tired, but to not be totally gone into the world, not to be totally exhausted. Maybe once or twice or maybe even 3 times will get you to that point later on in the camp, but we want you to get up to that sort of invisible red line of fatigue and get as close to it as possible without going over it, because that doesn't necessarily build fitness. That just gets you exhausted and your body sort of goes into retreat mode and doesn't want you to continue challenging itself day after day, week after week. So that's sort of a thing that we want to sort of start teaching you guys throughout this camp as well.
So you talked them through what a hill repeat workout looks like? Have we done that yet?
Yeah, so just the basic
in case
structure.
You're new to this, because I didn't really know this before I started doing these.
The basic structure of what we want for this first workout is hills, as you see on your training plan. First, if you haven't even checked your Final Surge training plan, log in using the registration email and password that you used when you registered on finalsurge.com. Click through, you'll find your training plan, and we've also got a files and resources section there, and we'll give you heaps of information all about sort of additional things to help complement these videos and other questions that we have.
But a hill repeat workout, I mean, you go out and everybody on your training plan, you have a different allocated amount of time that you're going to start with. So for some of you who have more miles under your belt, you might start with a longer interval. And for some of you that haven't been doing a ton of running, your you know, how many seconds we say to run uphill will be a bit shorter. So you know, you'll start with an easy jog. We want you to start about 50% effort on the first one, which shouldn't be that much faster than jogging pace. And then you just turn around once you get to the top. So if you have 30 seconds written on your plan, you know, you run uphill 30 seconds and then stop at 30 seconds and notice where you are. And at that point, what you probably want to do is sort of try to surpass that point for each subsequent hill repeat.
So your jog would come back down the hill nice and slowly, controlled. Make sure that your knees are tracking in a straight line so you're not risking injury. And then at the bottom again, start your watch and try and increase that distance by a couple of meters each time. So you're increasing your effort a little bit each one until you get up to about an 80% effort for the last one.
Yeah, the goal should be that your last one's your best one, so your time sort of, your distance sort of progresses each time if you hit 30 seconds at each time. So that's what that workout looks like. Do a good warm-up and cool down. Really focus on those. Don't I think, you know, Nick's really big on doing a good warm-up, and you can read that in your files and resources section, but that's key for injury prevention, especially this first week.
And next week we'll take you through a specific technique, things to focus on with the hills to really help you become more efficient on the hill and get more out of it. But for this first week, we just want you to sort of get a rudimentary experience and see how it goes. Don't go all out. And then we'll come back next week and talk you through how to get a lot more out of it. And although some of you might think you hate hills, a lot of our campers come back and say, this is the coolest thing we got out of this camp. It's helped me overcome that fear of the hill running, and I now want to own the hill whenever I get to them on a run. So let us know how they go, and any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
All right, guys.
Good luck.
Have fun.